Hey you guys, it's Dana, and I wanted to do a video today talking about what it was like for me to go back to work after 8 weeks of maternity leave. Okay, so I did a prior video talking about why I needed to return to work after 6 to 8 weeks of maternity leave. And so I'll link that down below in the description box if you want to watch that. But I did go back to work. I work full-time Monday through Friday. And so 8 weeks after I had baby D, I went back to work. It was actually 8 weeks instead of 6 weeks because I had a C-section. So I got those extra 2 weeks because of the C-section. But in the United States, and with FMLA and the situations with my job, that's why I had to go back if I wanted to keep my job. So after 8 weeks, I went back. And I'd never done that before. This is my fourth child. But with the other kids, I had either the full 3 months of maternity leave, and then after the twins, I worked part-time for about a year. I worked part-time with them. So for her, though, I went back full-time, and I never went back that soon, and it was something that I was really worried about. How was I going to handle it emotionally, physically, also with pumping, because I am pumping breast milk for her, and I'm happy to say that that's been going well. She's still been fully, exclusively fed breast milk since she was born, and so we're still doing that. That's working out. I also did a previous video talking about pumping at work and how I do that. You can also see a day in the life where I actually show you my setup in my office and what I'm doing. So all of those videos will be down below. So after the 8 weeks, how did I feel going back? And the first month was hard. I was very emotional. It was I think easier because this was my fourth child and because our current childcare situation is in our home and with a family member. So I completely trust my sister who is watching the kids for us, and she was sending me pictures during the day. And the first week back, Jim actually took off work. So he took off work that first week that I went back. So that way I knew that they had, a parental figure in the home. So he was here with them, and then that helped as well. And I would say it took, after that first month, I felt fine. I was okay. It was like back to work. Everything was normal. I didn't feel overly emotional. I was able to get to work during the day. I didn't bring in any pictures of baby D when I went back to work because I didn't want to look at them at my desk at first because I thought they would make me cry. So I didn't look at them. I thought she was falling asleep. So I made sure that I didn't look at any pictures of her because I thought that, that would be hard. And I had a couple questions from Facebook from people about me going back to work. So I'm going to answer some of those. How often I pumped before I went back to work? And the answer is not very often at all. I think I pumped maybe right after she was born, I pumped once a day for a while to try to start building up some supply in the freezer for when I did go back to work. So once a day I pumped for maybe the first month postpartum, and then the second month I didn't pump at all really before going back to work. But keep in mind I had pumped previously for the other kids as well. So it wasn't like my body was used to the routine. If it had been my first time, it would have made sure that I pumped once a day, every day during my maternity leave until I went back to work. And then like a day or two before going back to work, I would say to try to pump the whole day and have someone else, you definitely want to introduce bottles at least by 1 month old. Try to get some bottles going. And then I was asked if our nighttime routine has changed since I went back to work. And not really. The only thing that's, different is I have to get up, make sure that I get up for work. There's no like sleeping, during the day if the kids are sleeping. And so that's hard. So nothing has changed really for the kids. It's the same schedule. But for me, I'm sleeping less than I think I would be maybe if I was not, working. The question was also asked, do we keep the same schedule on the weekend? And yes, we try to make sure the weekend schedule is exactly the same as during the week. We want to make sure the kids have a very set schedule and routine so that they are more balanced, and it helps them to know what to expect, what's coming up, prevents tantrums. So we try to always stick to the same schedule the whole week, 7 days a week. Somebody asked me about my body and how I was feeling, and going back after the 8 weeks, I was still a little bit sore, but my job is a desk job, and that helps a lot because I'm able to just sit down and kind of rest. So not that you're resting when you're at work, but I don't have to be on my feet a lot, and so that actually helped. I was able to drink water, and that was all good. And then someone asked me about grocery shopping, planning meals, and basically I think that when you are working full-time, that stuff suffers. Unless you can look it up while you're at your desk at work and try to like think while you're at work about what you're going to do for meals. But my husband does the grocery shopping for our family. A lot of times we do have to have just like freezer bags that I can heat up in a skillet in 10 minutes. And it's not, home life suffers when you are at work full time. Like, it's not suffering in a bad way necessarily, it's just different. It's just a little bit messier, less organized, and dinners aren't maybe as perfect as I would prefer. And so it's a struggle. It definitely is a struggle, dinner time. I think if you can do crock pot meals and you're a working mom, then that's the best way to go, because then it's all ready for you when you get home. So that's it. So going back to work after 8 weeks wasn't as bad as I thought it was. If you're going to be doing it, I would definitely say just embrace it. It's what you have to do. And so it is what it is. And just try to stay positive about it. The emotional aspect of it will go away in about a month, and you'll be okay. You're going to be, a little sad in the beginning, but you can do it. And your kids are going to be okay. We had our daughter in full-time daycare starting at 3 months up till age 4. And little D is very close with me. And she is very well adjusted. And she's perfectly fine. She's a beautiful little girl. And her and I have the closest bond. So don't think that it's going to mean that you're not going to be as close to your kids or that you're a bad mom. If it's something that you need to do, then just embrace it, like I said, and it's going to be okay. And just do your best to expect that you're going to be sad for a little while going back to work, and that's okay. Just push through the feelings. Just do it. I just went through the motions, and then that helped me to get through that period in the beginning until it started to feel more normal. Humans are very adaptable, which is a good thing, and you're going to adapt, your family's going to adapt, and you're doing what you need to do for you and your family, and you can still have a very close and loving relationship with your kids. So that's it. If you have any other questions for me, let me know. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.